It was supposed to be a simple visit, a routine checkup at City Heart Hospital. But the moment Aanya stepped into the bustling lobby, she sensed something unusual about that day. Maybe it was the crisp scent of antiseptics mixed with the faint aroma of coffee, or perhaps it was the way her name sounded over the intercom, echoing through the pristine corridors. She made her way to the consultation room, her fingers drumming nervously against her phone. Hospitals always made her uneasy, the sterile environment feeling more like a labyrinth than a place of healing. But her apprehension quickly melted away when she met Dr. Rohan. Tall, confident, and undeniably handsome, Dr. Rohan possessed a charisma that instantly set people at ease. His voice was smooth and reassuring as he flipped through her medical file. "Aanya, right? You don't look like someone who visits hospitals often." "Trying to keep it that way," she replied with a smile. "Just a precautionary checkup." "Smart move. Prevention is better than cure," he said with a wink that felt almost too natural. His gaze lingered a moment longer than necessary, sparking something Aanya couldn't quite place. Just as Rohan began his examination, another doctor burst into the room with a whirlwind of energy. "Rohan, have you seen my oh?" He froze when he saw Aanya, his eyes lighting up with curiosity. This was Dr. Karan, slightly shorter than Rohan but with a warmth in his expression that was impossible to ignore. Where Rohan's charm was calculated, Karan's was effortless. "Sorry to interrupt," Karan said, grinning sheepishly. "I was just looking for my tablet. And apparently, I've walked into a far more interesting situation." Rohan rolled his eyes but couldn't hide his smile. "Karan, meet Aanya." "Aanya, this is Karan, the guy who somehow manages to lose his tablet at least twice a day." "Hey, those things are slippery," Karan protested before turning to Aanya. "But seriously, nice to meet you. I promise we're not always this unprofessional." "Good to know," Aanya replied, laughing. She hadn't expected her hospital visit to feel more like a casual get-together than a formal appointment. The conversation drifted from medical questions to light banter, Karen's quick humor complementing Rohan's smooth charm in a way that felt strangely perfect. By the time her checkup was over, she couldn't deny that her initial discomfort had vanished completely. "So, Aanya," Rohan began, leaning back against the counter with his arms crossed. "You know, Karan and I were just talking about how we should unwind after a long day. Maybe with some good food and better company. Are you asking me out?" Aanya raised an eyebrow, her smile teasing. "Actually," Karan interjected, his eyes twinkling, "we're both asking you out. Separately or together. Your choice." Anya's laughter spilled out before she could stop it. "Is this some kind of game you two play?" "Not at all," Rohan replied smoothly. "Just two guys who happen to think you're worth getting to know. Whether it's one of us or both." The boldness of their offer left her speechless for a moment. But deep down, something about their sincerity made her curiosity blossom. "Well," she said at last, her gaze shifting between them. "Why not?" Aanya wasn't sure what she had agreed to, but the idea of spending time with Rohan and Karan intrigued her. Two charming doctors vying for her attention. It felt surreal, like something straight out of a romantic comedy. Yet, their sincerity kept her curiosity alive. That evening, she arrived at their apartment, a cozy place with warm lights and minimalistic decor. Rohan had invited her over for dinner, and to her surprise, Karan had been just as enthusiastic about the idea. The scent of freshly cooked pasta wafted through the air as Rohan greeted her at the door. "Welcome, Aanya. I hope you're hungry because I may have gone a little overboard with the cooking." His smile was playful, his gaze lingering on her with undeniable interest. Karan appeared from the kitchen, a bottle of wine in one hand and a mischievous grin on his face. "By overboard, he means he spent half the day looking up recipes just to impress you. I, on the other hand, provided moral support. And dessert." Aanya laughed, her nerves easing in the comfortable banter. "Well, I'm here to be impressed, so let's see what you've got." They settled around a low table filled with steaming plates of pasta, garlic bread, and a decadent chocolate cake that Karan proudly claimed as his contribution. Conversation flowed effortlessly, their personalities blending into a rhythm that felt natural and easy. "So, Aanya," Rohan said, leaning forward with genuine interest. What made you say yes to two strangers hitting on you at a hospital? Two charming strangers, Karan corrected with a wink. Anya chuckled. Honestly. It was the honesty. You two were so straightforward about what you wanted. It's rare to see that kind of openness. Plus, you made me laugh. That's a big plus. I'll take that as a win, Karan said, raising his glass in a mock toast. To making Anya laugh. They clinked their glasses, and soon the conversation drifted into light-hearted teasing and personal stories. But as the night wore on, the playful mood deepened into something more. Karan shared his passion for photography, his eyes sparkling as he described his dream of capturing untouched landscapes. Rohan spoke of his ambition to start his own clinic one day, his determination both inspiring and endearing. And what about you, Anya? Rohan asked. What drives you? I guess it's the little things. Moments like this. Just being present, feeling alive. Too many people forget to enjoy the now while chasing after the future. Her words seemed to hit a chord, a thoughtful silence settling over the room. Then Karan broke it with a playful grin. Speaking of enjoying the moment, how about a friendly game of cards? Winner gets to ask the losers any question, no holding back. Anya glanced at Rohan, whose intrigued smile mirrored her own curiosity. Sounds fun. I'm in. They shuffled the deck, their competitive spirits firing up. But as the game went on, it became clear that the stakes were more than just silly questions. There was something unspoken brewing between them, something all three were beginning to feel. The card game had started off innocently enough, with playful jabs and harmless questions. But as the night stretched on, something shifted. Their laughter softened, replaced by thoughtful silences and stolen glances. Anya tossed another card on the pile, her smile lingering as she met Karan's gaze. Okay, I won this round. So, Karan, what's your biggest fear? Karan hesitated, the lightness in his eyes dimming slightly. Honestly, never finding someone who understands me. I mean, really understands me. I hide behind humor so much that sometimes I wonder if people only see the joke, not the person. His words hung in the air, raw and unexpected. For once, Karan's carefree demeanor seemed like a carefully built shield rather than an authentic reflection of who he was. Rohan's expression turned serious. You know you don't have to hide around us, right? I mean, we're here for more than just fun. Karan's shoulders relaxed, his smile returning, though softer now. I'm starting to believe that. Anya's gaze shifted to Rohan, her curiosity piqued. Your turn, Rohan. Why did you ask me out? Rohan's lips quirked into a grin. Straight to the point, huh? I guess. I was drawn to you. You're refreshingly real, Anya. Confident, curious, not afraid to be yourself. That's rare. Anya felt her cheeks flush under his intensity. But you knew Karan was interested too. And you still asked. Rohan glanced at Karan, a hint of a challenge in his eyes. Because I think there's a world where we don't have to compete. Where we can just be. Anya's breath caught. What do you mean? Karan leaned forward, his voice gentle but firm. We talked about this, Rohan and I. The truth is, Anya, we both like you. And we're both willing to see where this goes. Even if that means we're all figuring it out together. Her heart pounded as she tried to process their words. You're saying you both want this? Whatever this is. Yes, Rohan said simply. If you're willing to give it a chance. Karan nodded. No expectations. No pressure. Just honesty. Anya looked from one to the other, her thoughts spinning. It was madness. And yet, there was something thrilling about their sincerity, their willingness to step into the unknown with her. I can't say I know where this will lead, Anya admitted. But I'm willing to try. As long as we're all on the same page. The smiles that spread across Rohan's and Karan's faces were brighter than any victory from their card game. For the first time that night, the uncertainty felt exciting rather than terrifying. Then let's see where this goes, Rohan said, his gaze steady and sure. Karan lifted his glass, eyes gleaming with hope. To the unexpected. They clinked their glasses, their laughter echoing in the warmth of the night. The journey ahead was unclear, but somehow, that made it all the more beautiful. Days turned into weeks, and what had started as a bold, unconventional offer had grown into something far more meaningful. Aanya found herself spending more time at Rohan and Karan's apartment, their dynamic evolving with each shared moment. Rohan's ambition and calm strength never failed to impress her. Whether he was talking about his plans for opening his own clinic or playfully debating over movie genres, his passion was magnetic. With him, Aanya felt challenged, inspired, and deeply understood. Karan's easygoing charm and genuine warmth were just as captivating. His creativity shone through in the photos he shared, each image telling a story only he could capture. He made her laugh like no one else could, his presence a comforting constant she found herself craving. It wasn't always easy. Navigating feelings between two people was more complicated than Aanya had anticipated. There were moments of confusion, of wondering if she was being unfair to them or herself. But the openness they had promised each other remained strong. Every doubt, every insecurity was met with patience and understanding. One evening, the three of them sat on the balcony, city lights twinkling in the distance. The air was crisp, carrying the faint scent of rain. "I have to admit," Aanya began, her voice soft but sure, "I didn't think this would work. Not at first." Rohan looked at her, his eyes gentle. "And now? Now, I see something I didn't expect. I see two amazing people who make me feel alive. Who make me feel like I don't have to choose between happiness and honesty." Karan chuckled, but there was emotion in his gaze. "I guess that means we're doing something right, huh?" "We are," Aanya agreed. "But it's more than that. It's about allowing things to be what they are, without forcing them into boxes. It's about finding joy in the uncertainty." Rohan's hand found hers, his fingers lacing through hers with a tenderness that sent warmth spiraling through her chest. "I couldn't have said it better myself." Karan reached over, his touch equally reassuring. "Here's to taking chances. And to whatever comes next." They stayed like that for a while, the silence between them filled with a comfort words couldn't quite capture. It was unconventional, yes, but it was also real. And as long as they continued to face it with honesty, Aanya felt certain they would find their way. What they shared might not fit the traditional mold of a relationship. But maybe that was okay. Maybe the beauty of it lay in its uniqueness, in the courage it took to follow their hearts despite the unknown. Smiling to herself, Aanya realized something important. Sometimes, the most extraordinary connections were the ones you never expected to find. And right here, with Rohan and Karan by her side, she knew she had found something worth holding on to.